The Impossible Dream. Practical advice for new internet marketers. Jack Johnson was 35. After a variety of jobs that didn't really get him where he wanted to go, he decided that he would set out on a new quest. He set out to start an online business of his own. Now, this was scary, for Jack did not have any particular skills that stood out head and shoulders above his peers, nor did he have a bankroll to support a prolonged learning curve or a massive marketing campaign. Like Martin Luther King, though, he had a dream. In Jack's case, an impossible dream, a dream to fight the impossible foe, to not be only a businessman, but a citizen of the world in the highest sense of that word. And thus his dream extended beyond his business aspirations. He sought to be a Renaissance man, to enjoy and celebrate beauty, to be learned, and to be wise, and to be noble, not in the form of royalty, but in the sense of humility and his willingness to sacrifice his interests to those of the common good, to be of service to all as best he was able. And this was his quest. And yet, in the final analysis, it was a quixotic quest, for the impossible dream proved to be impossible. And while he was venturesome and wanted to run where the brave feared to go, he discovered that he was not without limits, and he certainly wasn't going to be satisfied loving pure and chaste from afar. No, he was a man, just a man, and he was torn between bold aspirations and dreams and the humble reality of his own limitations. And though motivated by high, noble sentiments, his limitations quickly took hold. He would have liked to sell his services to the great multinationals and make millions, but he couldn't even get through the front door. When he did shoot high against established competitors, his inadequacies became apparent, and he dwelled on his failures, and they confounded him. And so he lowered his sights, and so he began to think small, to dwell in his own humilities, and as a result, he set his sights low and focused on small clients, not big. He led off by offering low costs that appealed to those who could afford to pay no more. Yes, he was torn between bold aspirations and dreams and the humble reality of his limitations. And he became content to make do, to get by. In Jack's case, he remained active. In community affairs, and these afforded him the sense of fighting the impossible dream, of living his quest, but not so. In Jack's case, he remained active in community affairs, as these afforded him the sense of fighting the impossible dream, of living his quest, of not so humbly striving to be more of a man than he was. But his business suffered until he listened to an online webinar. There he picked up just a single thought, a takeaway thought. Through an hour of babble and 15 minutes of urgent and scarce call to actions, he came away with a single worthwhile thought offered by the presenter as a throwaway line that alliterated, "Prioritize profitable prospects." Prioritize profitable prospects. And for Jack, that made a difference, not the least of which was the simple concept of focusing on his prospects and not everything else. True, he still cared about the world around him, but his priority became building his business. Too often in the past, he had allowed other things to divert his time and energy away from the business. And while it's also true that you must maintain a life and keep in balance with the world around you, when you're starting out a new venture, it's imperative to keep your eye on the ball. And then the question became, just who were his profitable prospects? Until then, the entire world were his prospects. And in Jack's case, he had managed to come up with several different ways to serve them. He could do AdWords advertising. He knew his way around Facebook and YouTube and many other internet-y type topics. And yet, he started to focus on what he was best able to offer the world. He realized that he could package several of his services into a single package, which he then named. He named it. In Jack's case, he called it Profitable Prospecting Package, which he sold to local businesses in his community. If need be, he could customize that package to meet the specific needs of his clients, but his goal became marketing of his package of services profitably. And there is where his major focus changed. No longer did he seek out those who were only interested in low-cost services. He no longer tried to hit the home run, seeking to outmaneuver competitors with a stronger bench than his. Instead, he aimed for singles and doubles just to get on base with clients who could use his services and who were able to pay for them. These were his profitable prospects, and by spending some time thinking about the problem, Jack soon found himself dreaming of possible dreams, simply by prioritizing profitable prospects. There is more in these 3 words than may at first be obvious. If you are like Jack and interested in learning how to prioritize profitable prospects, check out this website, http://prioritizeprofitableprospects.com/jackstory. prioritizeprofitableprospects.com/jacksstory. This is Earl Netwall, the micro-business specialist, encouraging you to prioritize profitable prospects.